portions of our programming have been pre-recorded. The Good Neighbor Network, WGNS, Murfreesboro, Smyrna. Flagship station for MTSU Sports. The views and opinions on this show are those of the hosts, guests, and callers, and are not necessarily those of WGNS, its management, other hosts, or advertisers.
Are we on? Okay. Ed Raymer here with you with the Raymer Show. How y'all doing? I hope you're getting warmer. I know it's cold out there right now. We were off, of course. I think all of us were off last week, Connor included, I think, and because of our ice situation here. And as you know, that affects all of us here in Middle Tennessee. And especially here in Murfreesboro, but you know, it's been a mess. It's slowed a lot of things down. I was telling Connor just a while ago before we got started here. Son and I went down to Vanderbilt University. We got to see University of Kentucky come to town, and our son gets me tickets to that game. He has for the last several years, and I'm greatly appreciative of it. And you get to see the University of Kentucky basketball when they come to town. And we went down, of course, Kentucky got beat, so don't go back and watch the game. But I said I'm anxious to hear. I want to hear what the coaches had to say after the game, because Vanderbilt played a stellar game. They really did. And went back. And I come to find out I had not known that the head coach of Vanderbilt University had been sleeping in his office because his house, he was also without power. Now, you wouldn't think a man in his position would have that. I don't know what his position has to do with that, but for some reason you think, well, they'd provide, he'd have a place to go, or he'd have a backup generator, wherever the case might be. No, he didn't. He's just like me and you. And he'd been sleeping at his office. And he probably was going to sleep there that night as well, because Nashville's had a real problem down there with NES. To thank Middle Tennessee Electric, that's an understatement, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you all so much. You've kept me good and warm and comfy in our house, my wife and I, and all the rest of us, our children, all of our families. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We are very appreciative of it, and it does not go unnoticed. Middle Tennessee Electric, all of our water people, Consolidated Utilities, I'm sure they've had their problems here or there. Cold weather generally brings that. Atmos Gas kept the gas flowing. It's a mess when everything starts freezing. When it gets that cold, when you're down in single digits, friend, that's just cold. I don't know how those folks up north make it. I really don't. But anyway, Connor, if we can, we're going to kick this thing off. But for now, my name is Edwin Lee Raymer, and I am a private investigator. Welcome aboard.
This is the Edwin Lee Raymer Show with your host, Ed Raymer, on your Good Neighbor station, News Radio, WGNS.
I am Edwin Lee Raymer, the Edwin Lee Raymer Show, and I'm your host, Ed Raymer. I can't talk tonight. This show's produced at Studios WGNS AM 1450, 100.5, 101.9 FM, right here in the heart of the great volunteer state, Murfreesboro, Tennessee. You can reach me tonight with your questions, comments, your ideas, your thoughts, whatever they may be, at 615-893-1450. That's 615-893-1450. Now, you can also send me a text to that number, and our producer, Brother Connor over there, will be glad to read it over the air, or he'll write it down and give it to me, or whatever the case might be. If some of you that do not wish to be heard on the air live, if you have a question, one of our guests tonight is Tatiana Silver. She's going to be calling in later with the Library Alliance Board. They've decided to ban another nearly 3,000 books. I don't know what's going on with that, but anyway, that's what this bunch, they're just on automatic pilot go, I guess. Now, how do you find us? We're going to get into that later, too, by the way. You can listen to us on the good old-fashioned radio if you're listening right now. You can go on your cell phone, on your laptop, whatever you have, your desktop, whatever, to wgnsradio.com and scroll over the Edwin Lee Raymer Show, or scroll over to just listen live, and you can listen. You can find us on Facebook Live. You can find us on YouTube Live at News Radio WGNS. That's News Radio WGNS. And you can find all of my broadcasts there that we've had over the last several years. And, you can also go download the WGNS app and take WGNS with you wherever you go and listen whenever you wish, okay? And there's some good broadcasting. I heard Angela's program and Angie Renee earlier tonight, and I think it was David Settles with him, I believe it was, and I was listening on the radio and didn't get a chance to say hi. David, always a great guest, great fella, and listen to them. Those folks Angela and them doing a good job, have been now for many years, and glad to have her here. And she's on every Sunday night at 6 o'clock. Jason Qualls through the week around 4 o'clock, I think. And with financial coaching, I've had Jason on here once before. I'd like to have him back sometime, but does a great job. And again, that's financial coaching and information. His guests he gets, they are spot on, right on the money. And if they don't know an answer, which is very seldom, but they will tell you, we don't know, but we'll try and get you an answer. So, they're not winging it, as we used to say. And I'll tell you what we're going to do, if we can. Connor, let's go to our first break, if we could, for our sponsors, which we're grateful for. Thank you very much. And, Mullins Jewelers, thank you. And, we're going to push forward this thing. And I'll tell you what, be back with you right after this. Stay with us. Hello, everyone. It's Ed with Private Investigations in Middle Tennessee. If you just need someone checked out on a background check, tag them a run, or if you need someone full-fledged followed, give us a call. You can reach me at 615-390-7219. That's 615-390-7219. Or check out our website at piofmt.com. That's piofmt.com.
I felt so alone, scared, angry, full of self-pity. I just wanted to die, so I took another drink. Then I heard about AA and went to my first meeting. The people there talked about those same feelings. I was no longer alone. They gave me help to stop drinking and hope to start living. Alcoholics Anonymous, it works. Look us up. Check your phone book, newspaper, or aa.org.
And I want to tell you about a great friend of ours, J. Mullins Jewelers. They've been in this county for going on 100 years now. And their new location is 1640 Memorial Boulevard, right here in Murfreesboro. Jewelry for any and all occasions, weddings, birthdays, of course, all holidays, Christmas and everything, getting real busy around the Christmas holidays. Check them out at 1640 Memorial Boulevard, right here in Murfreesboro. J. Mullins Jewelers. Can't beat it. Hello, everyone. It's Ed with Private Investigations in Middle Tennessee. If you just need someone checked out on a background check, tag them a run, Or if you need someone full-fledged to follow, give us a call. You can reach me at 615-390-7219. That's 615-390-7219. Or check out our website at piofmt.com. That's piofmt.com.
I felt so alone, scared, angry, full of self-pity. I just wanted to die, so I took another drink. Then I heard about AA and went to my first meeting. The people there talked about those same feelings. I was no longer alone. They gave me help to stop drinking and hope to start living. Alcoholics Anonymous, it works. Look us up. Check your phone book, newspaper, or AA.org.
We're back. Ed Raymer with you for the Raymer Show. We welcome you here on a still a cold and chilly Sunday night. We were out of here, by the way, last week. All of us were. And it was probably a pretty good idea because the roads were still, not that the roads, maybe they'd cleared up a little bit, but it was still just doggone cold. I think we were down maybe at least low double digits, if not single digits. And folks in the outlying areas, it's been a mess. So hopefully I see it's going to warm up to about 45, 46 by about Wednesday, I think. I sure hope they're right. That's all I can say. Because we could all of us could sure use it. We have a caller on the line. And caller, go ahead. Ed Raymer's here with you.
Mr. Raymer, you survived the snow. You get all your trees cleared out?
Well, I'll tell you what. Me and you both were doing better than head coach Vanderbilt. He was sleeping in his office.
Probably the whole city of Nashville, I'd say.
At one time, they had 130. The last count I had was 100. Well, I'll say one of the last counts, 130,000 people. And I think, as of yesterday, they were down to like 53,000 people without power.
They said, I heard yesterday, they were saying it could be 2-3 weeks before we get power back. They were saying. Because there wasn't timeline. The mayor's so mad he wants timeline when they go get it back. And people were protesting over it again.
Well, they can protest all they want.
Fire back, all this, that, and the other,
Well, Jeff, I'm sure you were listening earlier. I'm very appreciative of our elected national.
We didn't lose fire at all.
No,
I'm grateful.
Knock on wood. This has been this is unbelievable, and I'm very grateful for Middle Tennessee Electric.
I didn't lose fire at 1 minute. I'm very thankful.
I'm telling you, but when you have a city the size of Nashville and that happens, folks were doing. They're working right now and they're doing everything they can.
I'm sure. I told somebody yesterday, when you have that fire for 5 days, you get mad. I know it's frustrating, but you get mad, frustrated.
Oh yeah.
There are people that it was 40 degrees in their house.
Oh yeah. It's been it's not there's nothing funny about it. It's a serious situation.
This ain't no laughing matter. Even Keith Bug McPike said he didn't have fire. Keith Bug, he didn't have fire in his house. He had to go stay with friends and stuff.
Who's that?
He's the former Titans linebacker.
Really? Yeah.
Even Tennessee Titans couldn't control the weather.
I'm telling you, well, it's just something that they're not. We're just not prepared like the northern cities are.
No, we're not used to 0 and
right.
8 to 4. No, we're not used to. We ain't got even Kentucky's got better equipment than Tennessee's got as far as getting it off and everything.
Well, and here's another thing too, and I've said this, and now to all you tree huggers, okay, you got to get rid of some of these trees, people.
Wait, the biggest thing is just trim them's all it is.
Yeah. Get rid of the trees, and you'll alleviate probably, I would guess, 70% of this problem.
Trim them, for goodness sake. They just let them grow all the line. They wonder why when it falls down. They wonder why it happens. If you trim them. And when they come around, and they hadn't done it here a while, but they've come around and trim ours around our fire. I don't think there's any around our fire lines now.
No, I've got a personal thing about this. Our dad was the world's worst about this. You know, I just love my trees and bushes. Okay, Dad, you go hug your trees and bushes, you know. But as far as Eddie goes, if it's green, we cut it or kill it.
Well, I like to cut. I've got a big stuff in my yard. We both are on the city makes always beautiful. We got a big bunch of bush things. I wish I could get somebody to clear it out. Just you can't see out the window. It's so bad. Because always when we were at the city wants to for beautification purposes, but always bushes and things, bushes and all that stuff, rosewood, whatever it is. I wish they would. They did.
Well, when Murfreesboro Electric came through, and this was before the merger, years ago, I believe, years ago, even before they bought up Murfreesboro Electric, and you know, I don't know, what is it now? Is it
Middle Tennessee Electric?
Middle Tennessee Electric. Okay, now it is. Can't remember. But I mean, and they've done a fantastic job. But when the guys came through. Yeah, when they came through and said, you know, oh, Mr. Raymer, I'm sorry, we're going to have to cut a couple of your trees. Hey, I said, take it down.
Oh, yeah, get your saw going, cut.
Yeah, get it going and cut it down. Now, our next door neighbor at the time, bless her heart, and she comes over, well, she's got a problem. They're wanting to take her tree. And I said, ma'am, you do not realize what a favor this man's doing for you.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Oh, yeah.
You cannot realize the money he's wanting to save you, because sooner or later that tree, and it was a Bradford pear of all trees.
Oh, Lord. I thought somebody...
It's going to split. It's going to go down. Yeah, on our neighbor, there's one laying in the yard right now. And I told her, you do not realize he's doing you a favor right now.
Yeah, no doubt.
So,
no doubt. I wouldn't take two. You talking about the library books. They took 2,700 out. Library, 2,700. And the final thing, I know you're going to love this, Lee, our latest Donald Trump update. He, that great Kenny, he put his name on that Kenny, said, of course, nobody's going to play in it. Well, he's announced that July 4th this year, it's going to be closed for 2 years to refurbish, to be renovated, make it great. I guess make it better than it is now. But it's going to be closed for 2 years to 2028. So,
what's going to be closed?
The Kennedy Center.
Oh, for God's sake. Yeah, listen, Jeff, I wanted to ask, because a lot of people didn't go, how was the Melania movie? What did you think of it?
Boy, that God, it was a good God Almighty. I couldn't stand it. I couldn't popcorn 5 seconds in. I couldn't stand it, God Almighty.
I've got a piece we're getting ready to...
As soon as that introduction, I had to get my popcorn. Hurry up.
I have got a piece we're going to play here. Yeah, Connor's going to play for us in a minute. And of all people, it's from Fox News. And, of course, no. Even the Fox, I'm letting them have it. Even the Fox News polls, what is it, NBC, whatever the MSNBC, whatever it is now, they're using Fox News polls now. And Trump, he's in the gutter.
Oh yeah. Well, what I was going to say with people that worked on that movie, I read a story about it. They said they didn't want their name on the credit.
I know. I saw that. Yeah, there's a lot of people worked on it.
When they were making that movie, it was chaotic and nuts. So they don't even want their name. The credit, so they didn't want their name on.
Didn't want anything to do with it. Yeah.
Nothing.
Connor's going to play a piece here. I hope you enjoy it. Like I said, it's via YouTube from our friends at YouTube, and it's from Fox News that somebody did. And it's, I'm telling you, this is Fox News talking. That's his buddies. And
I bet Sean and Laura Ingram went out. Oh, they probably had a date went out. Don't you?
Well, I just wanted to see how it was, because I figured, I knew you were aching to go, and I know you had tickets.
I had so much I did that too. I just want to take to that time. But I was going to tell you, one final thing. I bet we called the Hogs last night.
I'm telling you.
They got Calipari. They got Tennessee coming this weekend now. Rick Barnes coming down this weekend.
Oh me, that's gonna be a good one.
Hey, Rick Barnes for BBN, the gift that keeps on giving. We'll see you guys. Have a good one now. You have a good weekend.
Jeff Neal, thank you, Jeff. Appreciate you. Loyal listener, supporter of this broadcast, supporter of this station. All around good guy. Thank you, Jeff. We appreciate it so much. Tell you what we're going to do. As you've seen, and I was kidding Ribbon Jeff about the Melania movie, and this is good. I want Connor to play this for you. This is from an affiliate of Fox News that they had. It's only about 8 minutes. Bear with us, please. And you can look it up on YouTube if you want. Very same thing. And it's Melania Trump cries on live $75 million movie disaster. And apparently it has been a disaster. I don't know anything about the movie business, but this one has not gone good, apparently. Connor, if you can cue that up, if you would play it. I want you to now, on this, they're mentioning $75 million. I heard somewhere, and it may be in this broadcast because I go through so much information, that there was even an additional $20 million spent somewhere for something, which would not surprise me. So you're looking at about a 95, because I said in my own mind, I said, that's $100 million. And sure enough, somebody else coughed up another $20 million to do something. It was on promotion or whatever it might have been. So, I mean, this thing has been a fiasco. And the beauty part, you know when it's a mess because Trump's not talking about it. So, Connor, you were here this afternoon when Marsha Blackburn called into Mike. Did she mention anything about the Melania movie?
No, they didn't talk about it.
Okay, I didn't know if she went or not. I just wanted to check and see. Okay, well, I didn't know. We'll find out. Go ahead and play this. Thank you, Connor. We'll play this and back with you in about 8 minutes on the other side. Take a listen to this.
How this venture went so wrong. So the buildup to this movie started with grand promises. Melania herself led the production, describing it as a fresh scoop on her life that no one had heard before. She talked about blending humor, grief, and passion into a story that followed her over 20 days leading up to the 2025 inauguration. Donald Trump chimed in too, calling it beautiful, emotional, fashionable, and cinematic. He even suggested it brought back a touch of glamour that the country needed. But beneath those glowing words lay a hefty price tag. Reports peg the film's cost at around $60 million, with Amazon shelling out $40 million for the rights and another $35 million on marketing. That kind of cash could fund a blockbuster, yet here it was poured into what many now see as a vanity project. So what led to this particular mess? It all traces back to the Trump's return to the spotlight after the 2024 election. With Trump back in the White House, Melania aimed to carve out her own narrative. She positioned the film as more than a documentary, insisting it was a unique glimpse into her world. Trailers teased moments like her managing business, philanthropy, family, and White House preparations. There were also snippets of her chatting about her favorite time of day, early morning, and reflections on her fashion background building her thick skin. But the timing felt off from the start. For one, releasing the movie in early 2026 during the ongoing political tensions placed it where not everyone was eager for another Trump family spotlight. And as the film hit theaters in Australia first, the cracks showed immediately. Screenings opened to near empty seats. In Sydney and Melbourne, audiences barely reached single digits in 100-seat venues. That's not all. Some sessions even got delayed or canceled altogether. One report described a premiere where only 8 people showed up, a number that pales even compared to Trump's exaggerated inauguration crowd claims. Remember when he insisted 1.5 million people attended his first swearing in? Well, this film's turnout made that look like a packed stadium by comparison. And that is saying something about how disconnected the hype was from reality. Back in the US, the wide release aimed for 1,400 to 2,000 theaters, which is massive for a documentary. But the forecasts are more than terrible. CNN chief data analyst Harry Enton predicted opening weekend earnings between 1 million and 5 million, which is a far cry from top documentaries like Fahrenheit 9/11, which pulled in $41 million adjusted for inflation. And for all the promotion, which includes Melania's press tour on friendly outlets, the buzz failed to translate into ticket sales. Sessions hovered at about 4% capacity, leaving rows of empty chairs. I mean, it is really comical how a project meant to showcase Melania as a peacemaker under fire ended up fighting for any attention at all. Critics have not been kind either. Early reviews questioned the film's substance, calling it a missed opportunity. One take summed it up by noting that while it promised big answers to big questions, it delivered fluff like Melania's daily preferences. Rotten Tomatoes odds also put the chance of a score below 20% at 73%, signaling a rotten reception. Sure, Trump and his inner circle raved about it, but that hardly counts as unbiased praise. And let's not forget the crew drama. Rolling Stone reported that 2/3 of the New York team asked not to be credited. And in Hollywood, where people fight for screen time in the credits, that speaks volumes about the project's reputation. Now, aside from all these, the film's content itself invites mockery. Melania claims it shows her thick skin from the fashion world preparing her for the First Lady role. But watching the trailers, you get awkward exchanges and surface-level insights. There is her imitating accents or dodging questions, but nothing there that grips you or makes you want to see the whole thing. One interviewer even asked about her favorite part, and her response was about Trump's YMCA dance moves. This just makes the whole project feel like a polished infomercial rather than a compelling story. And with director Brett Ratner attached, known for hits like Rush Hour, but also controversies, the whole package screams mismatched ambitions. Trump's involvement also adds another side of ridicule. He hyped it as a masterpiece and was posting about it everywhere, yet the flop perfectly follows his pattern of over-promising and under-delivering. And while Trump boasts about high quality and smarts, the empty theaters tell a different tale. Perhaps it is karma for all those rally crowds he inflated that is now biting back in the form of real attendance numbers. Now let's talk about the financial angle, because that also boggles the mind. Amazon's investment dwarfs other documentaries. March of the Penguins, which charmed audiences with Antarctic adventures, cost only a fraction and earned praise. But here we are talking about $75 million for 20 days of Melania's life. You just have to wonder if there is some other motive, which makes some speculate it smells like a favor to curry influence with the administration. Because Jeff Bezos overpaying for this just doesn't make any sense. But then again, in a world where Trump loves deals that benefit him, it is hard not to connect the dots. However, defenders, which is mostly from right-leaning media, are crying foul, which is expected anyways. They argue it is the left tearing it down, as they are ignoring Melania's achievements like protecting children online or her immigrant success story. One commentator even lamented her lack of Vogue covers, claiming she would be celebrated if her politics differed. But that really misses the point. The film is not flopping because of bias. It is flopping because it fails to engage. No one forced empty theaters. Audiences simply chose otherwise. And bringing up her philanthropy feels hollow when the movie itself skimps on depth. Anyways, looking ahead, will Melania recover through streaming? Well, while Amazon's push might help, early signs point to no, because theaters pulling screenings signal a quick exit. And for Trump, it is another dent in the brand, proving that even family projects can backfire. Melania's thick skin, as she calls it, might help her weather it, but the public embarrassment will definitely be there. But what do you think caused this movie to flop so hard? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and if you laughed, learned, or just shook your head in disbelief, smash that like button and subscribe for more honest breakdowns.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Connor, for playing that. Thank you all for listening. What do you think? What do you think? I want to know what you think. I mean, you know, it's close to, I mean, it's bound to be more than $100 million. I'll tell you the one thing I was just telling Connor, the one thing I'm waiting for by about tomorrow evening, I'd guess, or maybe Tuesday, may come earlier than that. I expect Trump to be blaming the people that produced the film. They will be the ones that got paid. I would say they are the ones he will blame. Well, they did a lousy job, and people didn't even want their name on the credits, so that tells you they were embarrassed by the work they put out, and they ain't got nothing to do with it. I would guess 90% of it is already existing tape and recordings that are laying around everywhere. From every major news source there is. I didn't see any interviews with her. I got better things to do with $100 million. Connor, I'll tell you, we've got a caller. Hang on. We're going to get with you here in just a minute. Hang with me. We're going to do I'll tell you what, let's go ahead and put our caller on. Go ahead. Caller, are you there?
Yes, sir. I'm here. How you doing?
Titania, how are you?
I'm good. It's Tatiana Silva.
Tatiana Silver. I mispronounce your name every time, Tatiana. I apologize.
That's okay.
Okay. First of all, how was the movie? You went to see Melania. What do you think?
You couldn't pay me enough money in this world to go see that movie.
Oh, I bet somebody could. Go there and you could eat a free box of popcorn or something, I guess. Get you a soda. How are you doing?
No, sir.
Tatiana is not here tonight. She is she's a bit under the weather, like a lot of folks out there, and she didn't want to come up and spread her germs around us. We thank you, but we thank you for calling in. We appreciate it.
Yes,
thank
sir.
you. Now, we're here to talk about a problem right here, and the Melania deal. That's another situation. That's a federal. That's on a national level. This is happening right here in Rutherford County. Tell us what's going on, because I understand some people have decided they want to ban close to 3,000 more books.
Yes, sir. So tomorrow night there's going to be a library board meeting, and on the agenda is the review of materials. Last time I was here with you, we talked about how the Secretary of State put out a directive to all libraries across the state, telling them that they had to review their entire juvenile collection to find anything that did not fit the age appropriateness law that has been put in place
Right.
for public school libraries. He also cited the Executive Order 14168 that talked about the quote-unquote promotion of gender ideology.
Right.
So using these two items, I will not say laws because I don't think that an executive order is a law, but using these two items, they were required to review their collection. Now, since then, because of all of the media coverage, including this radio show here today, the Secretary of State backpedaled and said he didn't expect any books to get removed at all. He thought maybe one or two might get shifted from young adult to adult or from children to young adult, but he didn't see that there was any need to remove any books.
Why is he backpedaling?
I think he's backpedaling because he realizes that this got him a lot of bad optics, right? He's supposed to be in charge of libraries. He's supposed to be the protector of free speech across the state as the Secretary of State. And I think that this made him look real bad. So he didn't want to have to be attached to this. I also think he recognizes that he is opening himself and the entire state of Tennessee up to a lawsuit.
Oh, yeah,
because
sure.
ultimately what they're doing is limiting free speech.
Well, the ACLU would be all over it.
100%.
As if they're not. I'm sure they've got a lawsuit just sitting on the shelf waiting to drop, you know.
Well, they've been very clear that they are watching what happens tomorrow night. They put out their own press release that got put out with lots of different news coverage about how they are watching and they are waiting to see what happens.
Now, I want to give you an opportunity. Take your time. You've got some 24, 25 minutes. Take your time. And I did this intentionally because this is important. Where is this meeting and what's to happen here? And can anyone speak? Is anyone free to speak, or what's the protocol here?
Well, ultimately what's going to happen is if you wanted to sign up to speak, you have to fill out something called the public comment form on the library's website. And I believe there's only 6 spots. The library board is very odd. They only allow for 6 people to speak, 3 for agenda items and 3 for non-agenda items. Those are full. But tomorrow at the library board meeting, they will be discussing these 2,712 books that have been pulled off the shelves for review and deciding whether or not to get rid of them, to further do review, or to put them back on the shelves.
Tatiana, we were talking earlier. Can you give me some examples? Can you give me some titles of some of these books? I mean, just how ridiculous this is. Please.
Absolutely.
Tell people what this is.
So one of the criteria that they're using is the SB 1060, right, which is the Age Appropriateness Act, like I said, for public school libraries. They're using this, and one of the things that it says in there is that anything that has excessive violence should be removed from the shelves.
Has a what now?
Excessive violence.
Okay, all right.
So with violence, right, it all depends on the eye of the beholder, right? What consists of excessive violence? So when you're looking for that kind of thing, it's a category so wide, it contains a lot of different things. For example, it contains books like The Atlas of Ancient Worlds by Ann Miller. That one was pulled for historical violence and for depictions of warfare. That could be pulled off the shelf.
Why? What violence is there in that book? Did anyone? Here is what I'm getting at. Okay, we've been going through this now for years here. Okay,
right.
Okay, excuse me. You're going to ban 2,700 plus books. Okay, did these people read these books?
Well, actually, I've got a record of that. There are only 3 board members who have looked at any of the books on this list, and they have not even come close to reviewing all 2,712.
What?
3 board members of 11. The other 8 haven't even touched any of these books.
What under what criteria? What do they do? Just because? Is it basically just because they just don't like it? Is that where we're at?
I think that's where we're at. I mean, the chairman, Cody York, has been on a path to get rid of books for a very long time. He submitted a reconsideration request for a book 3 or 4 years ago, and then when he was denied, he then worked his way to get onto the library board, become the chair, and then start to be the quote-unquote shadow director of the entire library system itself. That's what's so concerning.
Right. True.
They're
I
basing
agree.
their opinions, the board, the majority of them, are basing their opinions on one man's ideas.
Cody York.
Yes.
Well, let me ask you, I still say, and I say this in all sincerity and all humility, I mean this. Is the Bible on this list?
There actually are several copies of the Bible on there. For example,
are you kidding me? Okay,
I'm serious.
You got to be kidding.
I'm not. There's several books, and there's also, like those books that you have for kids when they're first learning, like My Book of Bible Stories.
Sure.
Or, so they have a lot of those books on there for a combination of violence, polygamy, incest, nudity, right? Adam and Eve in the garden are depicted as cartoon characters with leaves covering them, but they are nude, right? That is another reason why these books are being pulled off
That's the way it's always been. It didn't. Oh, God.
Can I explain something to you and the listeners, sir?
Please. Yeah, try.
I'm going to try my very best. Have you heard of anything called the Miller test?
The Miller test? I've heard of it. Yes, I've heard of it. I'm very vaguely. Someone mentioned it up here once, I believe, or maybe more than that.
I gotcha.
Okay.
So the Miller test has 3 things, right? It is ultimately a Supreme Court test that they have used to determine whether some sort of book or movie or some sort of expression could be labeled as, quote-unquote, obscene by the legal definition. This was established in 1973, so it's been around probably a little longer than me, and it is supposed to look at 3 things. 1, if the average person would think that this work is overtly sexual.
Okay.
2, if it is patently offensive or talking about sexual conduct in a way that is offensive to the average human being. And 3, whether or not this work lacks any serious literary, political, or scientific value. This test was designed with the Bible in mind.
Okay.
Because if you look at the first 2 aspects of it, right, if it could make people think that it's being overtly sexual or offensive or violent, the Bible has all of that.
Right.
But
sure
the Bible
it does.
has religious, literary, and political value that it adds to society. So that is why it was not removed from library shelves. The state right now, Rutherford County, they're not using the Miller test. They're using their own laws their own rules, and because of that, it then pulls books like the Bible off the shelf.
But here's the thing, they don't have any laws, do they? Does Rutherford County have laws that supersede federal law or state law?
Well, we know that federal law does not, or does supersede state law.
Sure.
But they're trying to make it to where their laws, their rules, their criteria will get pushed all the way up to the federal level. That's what I think their goal is. They want this to get to the Supreme Court so that they can change the law of the land.
Naturally, it'd have to start right here in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. You know.
Yeah, we've got some legal geniuses here.
Yeah, sure we do.
Happen,
yeah.
right?
Trouble is they're not, well, they'll run into some legal geniuses because we've got a couple that follow you, and they've about had their belly full of this bunch anyway. You know.
No.
So what is the protocol for tomorrow? What time does this thing start? Where is it? How do people get there? What time should they be there? All this good stuff.
All the good stuff. Who, what, when, where, and why. So tomorrow at 5 o'clock, the library board will meet at City Hall, which is 111 West Vine Street. We are encouraging folks to get there between 4 and 4:30. Bring a book that has been banned in this state. And
okay.
We've got a list of 2,712 that you could look at. Bring a book that's been banned.
Right.
And come in and join us for a read-in ahead of the actual library board meeting to show them that we support freedom to read.
Right. And then the meeting is at 5 o'clock?
The meeting is at 5 o'clock. Yes, sir.
Now, who are the people? This is the library board itself with Cody York and all that bunch?
Yes, sir. Cody York, Beth Duffield, Jeff Linsek, all of them are there.
Well, now, I understand one meeting back in December, I believe, that Cody York didn't even show up.
No. He was there.
He was there.
He was at the meeting.
He just didn't speak or something of that nature.
He recused himself from two separate votes.
All right.
One of those votes was to remove him as chair because of the allegations that were brought against him through whistleblower testimony.
Okay. All right. Now, the Secretary of State, who is this, Trey Hargett, that's doing this?
Trey Hargett, who miraculously, amazingly, he is very good friends with Cody York. They work together
I bet
over
they
a
are.
decade.
Yeah.
And they still are in very close contact.
Well, bully for them. I wish them the very best.
It stands to reason. What's fascinating to me is when you look at Cody York's calendar, his work calendar, and you look at when because that's all obviously public knowledge. We filled out FOIA requests for this. We could see that he left for an appointment with Trey Hargett, the Secretary of State, the very day that all libraries across the state received that first letter. I just find that mighty convenient, don't you?
Yeah, quite a coincidence. Okay. I appreciate your time. I appreciate your effort. Now, you are with the Library Alliance with, who is it? Carrie Lambert. And
Carrie Lambert. We also have
Tiffany Fee.
And her husband, Matt Fee, and a couple other folks. Rutherford County Library Alliance has been around for a couple of years now, just trying to advocate for libraries to the best of our ability.
Well, they are making a difference. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
They're helping and letting people know that, hey, you can't just run in here and do this. This is, first of all, it's just not right. Okay.
No, it's not.
And second, in my opinion, this is ridiculous. We don't have time. Our elected officials have better things to be doing. I
agree.
When you've got 2,700 plus books, all I'm asking is who read them and tell me what. Give me one. Pick one. Let one member pick one book at random. Now, please, everyone, tell me what was in that book. Tell me why this offends you, or what better yet, why you think it offends me.
That's an excellent point. And that's the thing.
Yeah.
The average community member is what we should be talking to, which average means taking into account the whole, right? We're not just looking at one individual to take the lead. It should be the entire community that has a say-so. And beyond that, this is a public library.
That's right.
Do you not have the right to go into the public library and check out whatever book catches your fancy?
I'm telling you.
Why is it that parents are losing their ability to give their kids what books they want to read because one person is offended?
Well,
you're taking away a parent's right to choose?
I think they're trying to do what's happening on federal level. They're trying to wear people down. They're trying to wear everyone out. I mean, we've got the situation with our county property assessor, with Mum Power. Okay? Now we have this situation, which has been developing and is ongoing, with banning books. You know, they ban them or just throw them back in a pile and just burn them, I guess. I don't know. I mean, tell me that there's something else going on here. Is there any other project they've got going to sideline the Rutherford County people? Because we've got plenty going on here, you know.
Oh, absolutely.
And
we have so much that we have to take into consideration. I mean, there's already this discussion right now about whether or not they want to be able to build, whether they're going to build a prison in the budget this year or another high school. And that is already going to take up a lot of discussion and time. So again, why are we wasting our time on getting rid of books? This is just nonsense.
It is. Yes, that's the reason. That's the reason you're sitting here talking tonight. Now, I want to tell you something, people. You better listen to this woman. She's speaking truth to you. No, I'm telling you right now, you better get your butts up out of the chair and you better get down here to this meeting. I'm telling you.
They do.
And
I hope they do.
Please get down there and support these people, support this cause. This affects you, and more importantly, this affects our children. And let me say this. I don't have a dog in the hunt. Our children, our two children are grown people. They're graduated. They've got their degrees. We're finished with that. We don't even have grandchildren in the system, okay? Because we don't have any grandchildren, okay?
Not yet.
That's right, not yet, you know. But, I'm fighting for you. This lady here, Titania, is fighting for you. We all are. Carrie Lambert, Frank Lambert, you know, Tiffany Fee, Matt Fee, all of these people are fighting for you.
Yes.
Just go sit in a chair at a meeting, you know, and I guess you can wear a purple shirt. That seems to be, that's the color of the Library Alliance, is it not?
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yes, that is our color.
Yeah, you know.
Well, it's not about red or blue, right? This is not about Republican or Democrat.
No, it's not, really. It is not.
It's in the middle. It's for everybody.
Sure. I mean, I don't know. Anything else that we can help you with here tonight before this thing goes? Because this happens tomorrow afternoon, folks. Okay?
Tomorrow afternoon. Well, I kind of wanted to share a couple of reasons why books got pulled. Do you want to hear a couple of my personal favorites?
That's fine. Sure.
Okay. So, of course, one of the qualities or one of the criteria is any nudity of any kind.
Right.
So, Ed, let me ask you something. Did you ever read or watch Winnie the Pooh?
I have as a child, I'm sure. Yeah.
Of course. Now, we all know what Winnie the Pooh's standard uniform is, right?
Right. Yeah.
And we can all probably very clearly say that Winnie the Pooh is not wearing pants for the majority of the show and the book series, correct?
Right. Yeah. Connor's over here blushing. He knows.
Well, let me tell you, Winnie the Pooh has been pulled off the shelves because it qualifies under the category of nudity in anthropomorphic animals.
This is crazy. Mm-hmm. You know, it's kind of like, you know, I'll give you a similar example. Okay. Mm-hmm. I took a course, as you know, I'm a licensed private investigator, have been for many years. Mm-hmm. Okay. And we have to take, of course, continuing education. I took a course once on lying. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And I happened to be in a room of people, and I said, okay, how many of you have lied today?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, out of 20 people, 25, whatever, maybe one or two hands went up. I said, okay. I said, let me ask you something. How many of you have broken the speed limit today. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
How many of us, when the wife asks, does this make me look fat? Yeah. I mean, this lady right here on the phone can walk up to me tomorrow afternoon and say, you know, Ed, does this outfit make me look fat? Well, no, it doesn't make you look fat. Mm-hmm. You know?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't know. It doesn't make any difference to me how it makes it look whatsoever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now, I got to the best one when I got to, you know, and this is, and you'll probably hang up on me on this one. I said, let me see your show of hands if I can. How many of you in here color your hair?
Oh.
Ooh. I had about 3 or 4 of the ladies got up and walked out. Now, I mean, okay. And I think a couple of guys did because they were maybe wearing toupees. But you see what I'm saying? Now, yeah. Seriously, this is the same type situation we are in to a point. Do you see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Does the book offend me? Maybe it does, but Judge Scalia even said that. He told a lady that used to be head of the ACLU, said right here on a microphone and told me, Judge Antonin Scalia, who was one of the most conservative people they say you would ever meet, never had the privilege of meeting him, but, you know, Nadine Strawson said right here in this studio and said, you know, you read your book, I'll read mine. If this one offends me, you know, and if it offends you, just put it back on the shelf, okay?
That's right.
You don't have to take it out back and shoot it or burn it or whatever, or throw it in the trash can. You don't have to do that, you know? Mm-hmm. So it's not, I mean, it's ridiculous, you know? So I compare
it's not because of that, right? It's not as simple as we just want to leave the books on the shelves. If I don't like something, I don't have to read it.
Sure.
They use this concept of, well, we're trying to protect the children, but that's not their real motivation here.
No.
Their real motivation is to eliminate an entire group of people. If you are gay, if you are trans, if you are gender nonconforming, if you have anything outside of the straight, white, heteronormative mindset.
Right, sure.
Especially Christian mindset. Let's get that
straight.
Yeah,
that's a fact.
Then you don't fit, and they want to erase those kinds of people.
That's right. Yeah. They want to, in some way or form, kindly eradicate these people from our society that we live in. And
or
that's,
not so kindly.
You know, I know. And that's just, hey, it's just wrong, you know.
It is wrong.
We have different people, different faiths.
To the point where we have a book here on the list that has it's called Bathe the Cat by Alice McGinty. And the reason this one was pulled is because it had an image of 2 men bathing a cat that could be interpreted as potentially being gay. So this book was pulled off the shelf. You know,
I don't have, you know, a lot of us, we really don't, and you know, I don't mean to short you. You know, Tatiana, I don't have time for stupid stuff like this.
No.
And most people don't. They say, you know, well, let them have their meeting. You know, they act like a bunch of idiots anyway. That's exactly the point. And they're trying to invade a sector of decent society that says, you know, look, you know, not everything is perfect. It's talking about the lying situation. How many of you have lied today? Yeah, I broke the speed limit coming up here, and I will probably break it going home. I probably will. I mean, Murfreesboro police are out there. They see me going by. They've got to where they just wave. I mean, because, you know, I'm an older guy, and, you know, it doesn't make any difference driving an old Buick, you know. But you know what I'm saying? I mean, it's the same. It's the same situation. It's the same, you know, level of levity, okay, if I can put it that way. It's ridiculous. And we are not talking about books and magazines like Playboy or Penthouse and all that, which I think are gone now. I don't think they even have those anymore. When I was a kid.
Especially not in the library.
Do what?
They're certainly not in the library.
They're not in the library, you know. I mean, I'm wondering about newspapers. We used to go in, people would go in at our high school and read a newspaper. Teachers would go in that morning, they took a break, went in, took a cup of coffee, read a couple of pages out of the newspaper, you know, just to keep it. I don't know, you know, and there are some scenes that are put on news and pictures in newspapers and magazines, you know, as U.S. News and World Report, that are pretty, you know, they're pretty bad. They're pretty absurd, but it's life, you know, it does go on.
Yeah.
And there's more people in this world than just us here in Rutherford County. I think we need to start making some room for them.
But we matter in the sense of what they're doing here is the playbook for what they're going to do elsewhere. You know, we are number 3 in the state, or in the United States, for book bans, right?
I know.
Tennessee is number 3.
Right.
Florida and Texas are the only ones ahead of us. In Texas and Florida, their organizations, their Freedom to Read organizations, have reached out to us directly to help us to fight back against this because they've already seen it happen. What is happening in Tennessee is going to happen in other states across the United States. We have to step in now.
Exactly. That's the reason I wanted you here tonight. Sure.
No one is coming to save us, Ed.
I know. And folks, get on Facebook. Get with your neighbors. Get on Facebook. Tatiana Silva has been my guest tonight via phone. Take care of yourself, young lady. Get some aspirin. Get some rest.
Thank you, Ed.
And who knows, I may even see you tomorrow, okay?
I hope so.
Show up for that meeting on Vine Street at City Hall. 4:30. Going to get there at 4. Going to read till 4:30. Go in and sit down. Meeting is at 5. Thank you, dear.
Thank you. Bye now.
I'll talk to you next time. Bye-bye.
Okay.
Thank you for joining us, everyone. I hope you have all tuned in tonight to listen to this. This is important. It's happening. Folks, this is happening right here in Rutherford County. Okay? I'm telling you, right here is where it's happening. Us, Texas, Florida, all these radical Republicans is what they are. We're going to get out of here. And I'll tell you what, Connor, play us out on a couple of commercials, if you would, please. One for Mullins Jewelers especially. Thank you, Tim. I appreciate you. Thank you to all of you, sponsors or not, former sponsors. Hopefully some newer sponsors this year. I'll be talking to you down the road. But I'll tell you what, till next Sunday night, 6 o'clock, or 8 o'clock, I don't even know. At 8 o'clock, I'll catch you down the road. Take care. And I want to tell you about a great friend of ours, J. Mullins Jewelers. You know, they've been in this county for going on 100 years now. And their new location is 1640 Memorial Boulevard, right here in Murfreesboro. Jewelry for any and all occasions, weddings, birthdays, of course, all holidays, Christmas and everything, getting real busy around the Christmas holidays. Check them out at 1640 Memorial Boulevard, right here in Murfreesboro. You know, J. Mullins Jewelers. Can't beat it.
Now, an update from the wgnsradio.com News Center.
A new safety initiative is underway in Rutherford County aimed at supporting autistic drivers during traffic stops. The Rutherford County Sheriff's Office Community Engagement Unit is distributing free blue envelopes in partnership with the KTG Foundation of Harriman, Tennessee. These envelopes help alert law enforcement that the driver may communicate differently. When presented during a traffic stop, the envelope provides officers with key information about the driver's communication preferences, whether verbal, written, or through assistive devices, and explains behaviors that they may observe, such as repetitive movements or limited eye contact. The goal is to ease interactions that could otherwise become stressful or confusing. Blue envelopes are available at the Community Engagement Unit at 940 New Salem Highway in Murfreesboro. In other news, a nationwide salmonella outbreak has prompted federal health officials to warn consumers about contaminated superfood supplements. At least 65 people in 28 states have fallen ill. The affected products, sold under the Live It Up and Why Not natural brands, contains moringa leaf powder and were distributed through websites and major retailers like Amazon, eBay, and Walmart. The FDA advises consumers to discard any super greens with expiration dates from August 2026 until January of 2028, and superfood capsules with a July 2028 expiration date. Investigations into the contamination continue as officials work to remove the product from the market and determine the root cause. That's all for now. I'm Dalton Barrett, and I'll talk to you later.
The Good Neighbor Network, on air and online at wgnsradio.com. Rutherford County's most trusted source for local news. CBS Radio
Night is
News.
underway. The Grammy Awards are being handed out. Kendrick Lamar just won for Best Rap Album. CBS's Gwen Baumgartner says he has the most nominations with 9.
GNX is his 5th consecutive studio album to be nominated for Album of the Year, something no other artist has ever done. Lady Gaga follows closely behind with 7 nominations. It's the first time she's up for Song, Record, and Album of the Year at the same time.
Lady Gaga just won